I don't think, for the most part, writing alone compares to collaborating with people because everybody has a different perspective, and sometimes different perspectives can make a song sound better. You can be limiting yourself in ways that you don't know until somebody tells you, hey, maybe try this for a chorus instead, or maybe try singing it an octave higher, or add this here, add that there. And the song becomes like so much better to where it feels like you've unlocked a new world because of it.
When we talk about connection too, what about connecting with other artists? What's the experience of creating alone versus creating with other people?
Creating alone can be nice sometimes when you are writing something that is so personal that only you would know how to write it and only you would know what direction to take it in. But I think that's not as common as many people would think. And even just creating alone, whether the song is super personal or not, it has a ceiling. And while I have enjoyed some of my time creating art alone, because this upcoming album I've begun to work on that's coming out this year, and the songs that I've released that are from it so far, I've written all of those alone. And I've also written songs for other people, for other artists. And I've been in rooms collaborating with different artists and just hearing ideas, just bouncing off ideas of each other, you know, hearing different melodies, different lyric ideas, and just having a whole discussion, like dissecting the idea of the song and stuff. And I think that's far more rewarding and more fulfilling. And I don't think, for the most part, writing alone compares to collaborating with people because everybody has a different perspective, and sometimes different perspectives can make a song sound better. You can be limiting yourself in ways that you don't know until somebody tells you, hey, maybe try this for a chorus instead, or maybe try singing it an octave higher, or add this here, add that there. And the song becomes like so much better to where it feels like you've unlocked a new world because of it. I will say the one big difference between the two is obviously putting it out into the world, especially for the first few times you do it, is scary, and it's sometimes nerve-wracking, and it doesn't feel as safe while being alone in your room or wherever, writing the song and only having yourself as the critic to judge. It feels safer and it's more protective, but obviously it's isolating and it's very limiting. So I would say that's the big difference. For me personally, both parts of the process are valuable. When writing songs alone and bringing them to life alone, other than recording, because recording, you know, I'm very blessed and fortunate to know some incredible recording engineers, mixing engineers, and whatnot. But in terms of like the process of even before bringing the song to the studio with the instrumental and the stems and all of that, it's more isolating. It's oftentimes frustrating. And I think a lot of artists don't talk about this, especially the ones that are hyper independent and they don't have a lot of collaborators, or they're not having a lot of co-writers or anybody like that in their corner. The ones that are basically doing the whole one-man show, party of one, wearing all the hats sort of thing. It can get frustrating because you're your only critic, and sometimes you're not really able to diagnose why you don't like a song fully, or what's limiting it, or why this melody's not hitting, or why this hook isn't hooky enough, or you're sitting alone at 3 a.m. with 21 different melody ideas because you're so tired and you can't think of anything better, and you know, there's moments of self-doubt, like critical self-doubt that most of us experience, that you sometimes just look up at your reflection and you're like, what the hell am I doing? Am I even good enough at what I'm doing? Am I competent? Do I have what it takes? Am I qualified? So that's something, and that was something that I recently went through with my most recent song that I dropped a couple weeks ago called Victoria's Secret. That song alone took 21 melody attempts for the chorus, and that took me about 5 months to do it. And in between my takes that I was doing for my demos at home on my phone, I was like throwing up in the middle of it because I was just tired, and I was like, you know what? This is oftentimes very isolating, and you know, sometimes it does get really bad once in a while, but there's also nice parts about it being alone, that you know, you can celebrate with yourself when you land on something that you're really proud of. But I still think that doesn't compare to celebrating with other people and having other people to support you along the way and building something and creating a beautiful piece of music or a lovely body of work together as a collective effort. But from that, going to sharing it to social media platforms, on the internet, everywhere, to the stage, I enjoy that more because that's the side that I can fully express myself and that I can connect with people. Because being alone with yourself is, again, you can only do so much of that. You hit a ceiling. So being able to connect with strangers or even people you know, like your fans, audiences, really being able to express yourself and having that song resonate, especially seeing the reaction of them and them appreciating your work and really liking your song, I think that's far more rewarding. So that process is like the end goal. And I think that's the outcome that makes the early stages of being in isolation worth it.
What does that connection, what does your connection with your fans mean to you?
Apart from love is the best word I can, an appreciation and an overwhelming sense of gratitude. That's the utmost thing that I can say first and foremost, that if you have put yourself out there and you have people that are receptive to it and they're responding to you and they like what you do and they support you and they love you, you can't help but to naturally love them back and want to do more for them, put out more for them, make them happy, do stuff for them. Because at that point, it doesn't even become about yourself anymore. Like for me personally, when I've gained fans along the way and I've seen the way people have responded to my music and people have told me stories about what they liked about it and how it affected them in their lives, at that point, it didn't become about me and my story and my music and me anymore. It became about I'm doing something for people. I'm serving people in a way. I'm helping them feel seen. I'm connecting with them. I'm relating to them. I'm giving them a voice in a sense, especially if people can relate to my lyrics. That's like the biggest badge of honor I can wear, that if somebody tells me that, like when people tell me that my lyrics have made them feel seen, that they felt like I gave them a voice when they couldn't say things themselves. So at that point, it becomes way bigger than anything you could achieve for yourself, but rather you're achieving it together as a collective thing, as a sense of community and belonging. That's the way I see it anyway. It's like my way of giving back. It's my, not, I don't want to say charity, but it's one of the ways I like to give to the world is through what I create. I like to give through the way I express.
Yeah, that's beautiful. It's not that your art is just for you, it's coming through you to benefit the world.
Right.
Can you share some stories or interactions with your fans that have stuck out to you?
One that I really liked was my song Under You. It was the first single I dropped. My first ever single dropped post hiatus out of that 5 years. And my first single from this upcoming album. And that song is about a really common experience of a Gen Z person where we get into a situationship with somebody and we have those hot and cold behavior. We get those mixed signals. We're being fed these little itty bitty breadcrumbs and we keep begging for the whole loaf in a way. And that's a common but unfortunate experience that I've gone through and too many people my age have gone through. So when I've received messages about Under You saying that this made me feel so seen, and dude, I just went through this last week with my ex-boyfriend, I just went through this 2 months ago with some girl, or finally somebody took the words out of my mouth. I really relate to the whole Netflix watching because they were always watching my stories too, and it's like some of my favorite lines in that song ended up being the ones that resonated with people the most. And that really, I don't know how to put this into like proper words, but it gave me a sense of, I was very touched by it, to say the least. It made me feel like, okay, I'm doing something right. The mission's being accomplished. This is making it worthwhile.
Can you share one of those lines that you heard back from people on?
One of my lyrics, you mean?
Yeah, from that song.
Said that you needed space. I said that it's okay. But you keep on watching me like Netflix every day.